blistering start and just couldn't keep it going. How do you sort of sum up today?
Yeah, it was really similar to last week, where we feel like it was just one patch of the game that cost us, and that was the second quarter. They kicked 8 goals to 4, 4 or 5 goals from stoppage. So yeah, it was just the consistency across the four quarters again, which is kind of, we feel like that might happen when we've got a young group and young midfield group, and so we're trying to limit that. But right now we're going through a little bit, and yeah, that was obviously that cost us the game. Their midfielders got right on top and really hurt us.
The injuries you've had are nothing new. You've been competitive in the last few weeks despite them. Do you feel like today was just a bit too much for considering everything you've gone through in the last few weeks?
Yeah, I'm not sure about too much. We started really well. We've gone through a lot, not just the injuries, that we've travelled twice in a row, things like that. We're not going to use it as an excuse, but I've sensed that second half we looked tired. Our third quarter, that's not us. To only get 3 or 4 inside 50s, and we just, the dam all looked like it was going to break there for a little while, but we did look tired, I think, just based on the effort that they've put in the last 5 or 6 games. But I was really proud of the way we finished. That our leaders wanted to just finish off, hopefully hoping to win the last quarter and things like that, little goals. And but we've got a 10-day break now. I've just spoken to the players, and I think we need a bit of a freshen up. And the breaks come at a nice time.
Does it look like you'll get anyone else back at this point after the bye?
Hopefully. At this stage, Jacob Hopper might be available. So we might get a couple. Dylan Grimes might be available, things like that. So to get some experience back in the side is obviously going to be handy for us. But just spoke to the players again. Some of our younger players had some opportunity. Kane McAuliffe realistically, it was like his first game, get an opportunity to play against Elliot Yeo and Tim Kelly and get a full game of midfield minutes. Thompson Dow, still a young midfielder. I thought he started terrifically today. So while we're going through a little bit of adversity, our younger players are getting some opportunity. So we'll keep giving them that opportunity. But yeah, hopefully we get a couple back next game.
Picture for Taranto now that he's had the surgery?
Well, I haven't really spoken to our doctors about that, just knowing that he's going to be out for a little while. So it might be 4 to 6 weeks, but I'm hoping it's closer to 4. So even that could have taken a bit of the energy, like our last training session before we leave to come over, and it's a little craft drill that he was doing. He breaks his arm or breaks his wrist. So that's part of the reason why I think we just looked a little bit flat today.
The way the Eagles perform with someone like Yeo sort of playing back to his best after going through all the injuries recently, does that sort of show how important it is to have those kind of mid-career sort of players available and at their best, and for a young group such as yourself? Yeah,
well, no doubt. The footy club that we just played today went through a lot of this last year. They had their good players and their leaders that were out, and you can see the advantage of when they're available. So yeah, we're going through that at the moment. And then our older guys and our leaders that are playing are obviously shouldering a lot of that load. So we look forward to getting those players back available. But right now we'll just keep giving our younger players the opportunity to and that exposure. So we've just got to play it by ear and see who was available.
What are the areas on that stat sheet are a bit lopsided towards West Coast? Is there any one of them that just got contested possession, I think, nearly minus 40 on? Does that disappoint you compared to where you've been the last couple of weeks? Yeah,
no doubt, and that's an outlier. Like, that's not us. As I said, there was a couple of quarters there where that just blew out. Like, they dominated territory and contested possession in that second quarter, and there was a little patch that blew those stats out. So we've lost inside 50s by 20, things like that. Hasn't happened in the last 5 weeks, and that middle part of the game, we just lost our way. And whether that's fatigue, whether it's obviously the guys that we've got out, or just the youth that we've got in the team, those numbers just were a bit skewed.
On the bye, you get a bye now, although I think you play on the Wednesday on the way back. So how do you work it? How does it look like for you?
Yeah, well, our players will have a few days off, so they'll have 2 or 3 days off now, leading into Anzac Day Eve, which is an amazing opportunity to play against a really good team in Melbourne, and a great spectacle. We love playing in that game. We're lucky to be playing in that game. So as a footy club, we want to do that game justice by putting on a good performance, and we can't wait. So, but our players need a break, so that they'll have 3 days off now, and really looking forward to refreshing, not only physically but mentally. Like I said, the last 5 or 6 games we've had a lot going on, so the breaks come at a nice time.
I know you spoke about this previously, but have you had any more talks with Liam Baker about staying at the club, or obviously being in WA, playing in front of friends and family? It's pretty attractive as well.
Yeah, well, not any. Not other than a couple of weeks ago, where I sat down with him and just wanted him just to play with a carefree attitude and really enjoy his time. And when he makes that decision, he'll make it. He's a terrific guy. We love him around our footy club. I'll say this over and over, but he'll make that decision, and whichever way he goes, we'll back him in with it. But once again, we missed him last week. He came in today. He gave us a lot of spirit and energy, and he's in really good form, which is great to see.
Adam, how tempting was it to throw Dusty into the middle in that third quarter when it's just such a lopsided, clearance was like 50 kg?
Yeah, well, we did, and he gets an opportunity to go in there every now and then, but we did it with Shea today. But yeah, he's a proud man. In the last quarter, he wanted to step in and have a crack and get in there more often than not. The hardest thing with us at the moment, we're struggling with our height in our front end, so he had a role with some of their key defenders, which he was battling manfully. But yeah, we'll look at that and maybe give him some more opportunity over the next couple of weeks.
Is the temptation more to let your younger players battle it out and let them turn the tide themselves?
Yeah, it was, and we wanted, to be fair, we could have thrown more numbers up to the stoppage and things like that, but yeah, the experience that came McAuliffe and Thompson down, and to be fair, there's some other younger guys that haven't had an opportunity or are getting some experience that we want to see how they perform, and whether they can arrest momentum and things like that, they'll learn from it. So yeah, we'll keep going with that.
And Jaden Short, do you have an update on his injury?
Yeah, so he's tweaked his calf, so yeah, we'll have a scan. He'll get a scan tomorrow, but hopefully it's not too bad. We'll considered playing him through it, but he's too important for us, so we've got a 10-day break. Whether he gets up for that game, but he might miss one, so we'll see with the scan.
So he must like another step forward for how I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, Lafayette. You must like what you saw.
Yeah, I spoke to the boys about that. Like, yeah, he's in his 3rd or 4th game, and he looked like an AFL forward today. So that was exciting. He's still learning the game, and to be fair, they've got 2 quality key defenders that he was on, and he held his own. So that's exciting for our footy club. Jacob Kashitsky worked really hard today, got his chance as a second ruck. So those small little wins that we're having along the way while we're going through this adversity is really important for us. So yeah, he did really well, McKelts. And just on behalf of the footy club, just want to pass on our condolences to the tragedy in Bondi. So like, we lose a game of footy, but yeah, the families that are going through what they're going through is just horrendous. So just on behalf of our footy club, I just wanted to pass on our condolences.
Thanks, Adam.